Hola, everybody. Buenas tardes, buenas noches, good evening, good night. I'm Abelardo de la Peña Jr., Director of Marketing and Communications with La Plaza de Cultura y Artes, the newly opened La Plaza de Cultura y Artes. Welcoming you to En Casa con La Plaza. Thank you all for joining us. As you know, En Casa con La Plaza, we've been on the air now for almost a year. We're bringing you the best of our community's history, art, culture from our homes to yours with these presentations, conversations, demonstrations, and performances. Our sponsors tonight, PepsiCo and Kaiser Permanente. If you've joined us on Zoom, please use the chat. Let us know where you're viewing from. I know I see Lisa Marie Ruiz bidding us a good evening. Well, good evening, Lisa Marie. Let us know where you're viewing from. Use the comment section there to do shout outs. Ask questions on the Q&A. Thank you for joining us. Those of you on Facebook, again, thank you for joining us as well. Let us know where you're viewing from. So give shout outs, make comments, ask questions. We may take them during the presentation, the conversation. We may do it afterwards. Who knows? This is that kind of night, that kind of evening in early July. So thank you so much for joining us again. En Casa con la Plaza, I'm going to start off with introductions. Tonight's En Casa, House of Flamboyance with Victoria Valenzuela and Mel Loera. The House of Flamboyance is a queer, BIPOC and Femme, cinematic drag, dynamic musical numbers, heartwarming messages, camp comedy, and so much more. They've had variety shows over the last couple of years in various places, but this last year they've been kind of silent out on the stage, as we all have, staying home. But now they've been doing their work online. Here, I'm going to put something up on share a screen so you could see their logo right here. House of Flamboyance. That is beautiful. Well, House of Flamboyance is composed of Victoria Valenzuela, aka Vick Jagger, a Latinx artist who got her start in the costuming world. In 2017, she began a career in DJing and nightlife. Shortly after, she founded the House of Flamboyance after noticing a lack of femme, LGBTQ+, and POC safe spaces. Now she is studying film at LACC and is working towards a degree in cinema production. All right. Next, we have Mel Loera, aka MsMelLoera, a self-described Latinx Renaissance woman with experiences in managing and fronting musical projects, organizing events, pouring up delicious coffee, and now writing, directing, and producing and acting in House of Flamboyance productions. So without further ado, I'm going to stop the screen here and call in. Please join us, House of Flamboyance, Vick Jagger, MsMelLoera.
Hello.
I'm glad you could join us.
We're happy to be here. Very happy.
Well, tell us where you're zooming from.
We're actually zooming from the OC right now in my car because luckily we got a gig tonight, our first gig in a year. So, you know, we are just planning ahead so that we're not driving all over the place. So now we're drive-in style here.
All right. Well, that's...
I mean, this is how you know it's part of the lifestyle, one gig after another, you know?
That is part of the lifestyle, I imagine. But tell us about your lifestyle. First of all, tell us about the origins of the House of Flamboyance.
Yeah, so the House of Flamboyance was established in 2019, just like how you introduced us, because we noticed a lack of safe spaces for people like us and our friends. And we just kind of came together and we're like, you know, let's just start using our resources and going to these different venues and seeing if we can have events there. And luckily we could, and it just started from there. And yeah, that's how it started.
And what's the concept behind it?
The concept is that, well, it's the lack of queer, femme-fronted Latinx, just people of color spaces that we were seeing. I've been DJing since 2016, and I didn't really see a lot of like flamboyant events. And so that's something that Mel and I and a lot of our other friends decided that we wanted to come together and make that happen.
Because like when we would go to certain events, we were like fish out of water, but instead I guess we were like in the name flamboyance, we were like a flock of flamingos coming into these spaces.
Yes.
And it very just obviously like standing out in a way where, you know, we decided if we can't find these safe spaces, we have to create them.
Yes, exactly.
So is flamboyance an outer type of attitude, or is it inner? How would you describe flamboyance?
It's definitely both, because you can be flamboyant with the way that you look and dress and talk, but you can also be flamboyant on the inside with what you believe in and what your politics are and all those different things. So it's a mixture of both. And like Mel said, flamboyance, literally one of the definitions for flamboyance is a flock of flamingos. And that is how me and our friends and a lot of our communities feel, like flamingos. So we thought it was the perfect name for a collective.
And so, so it's the both of you who started it, or you, Vick, Jagger?
Well, she's the mother of the house. Like a part of the inspiration is a house is influenced by the ballroom scene in queer communities all over, but mostly like if you see the movie Paris is Burning, you see like a really, I think, well-documented version of the ballroom scene for queer and POC communities. And so a part of that culture is choosing your own family. And instead of calling it your family, you call it your house. Mm-hmm. And so while we were creating, like, we wanted to create these safe spaces, we had to create our own house. And Vicky is the mother of the house. She's really the one that like brought it all together and gave birth to it. And I'm like the dad who's telling everyone to drink water
and keeping everybody in check and making sure exactly what she said, like everybody is hydrated, that everything is just running smoothly. And yeah, I mean, both of us combined, we balance each other out very well.
And so in forming your family, did you recruit, or did they come to you?
Well, it was already, luckily our collective was our close friends and family members. So I was lucky enough for my siblings to be involved, for a couple of our close friends. And so that's the main collective, but we have people that help us with our shows. That can be editors, that can be the talent that is in the show. Like they're all an extension of the Flamboyance family.
So, but it basically began as a live, in clubs or in physical places.
Correct.
So how recount the first performance or the first gig that you had. Tell us where and how did it go? Who participated?
Sure. So our first performance, or our first show as a house, unofficially but officially, was in Santa Ana. And so in the OC. The OC always just keeps calling us back for whatever reason. We're here right now.
And they need us.
And they need us. Yeah.
We're here to help.
Yeah. So like I had a friend, because of DJing, I met a lot of bookers, and this woman was talking to me about drag. My brother's a drag queen, and so she knew that I was involved in the drag scene in that way. And she had been telling me that she would love to collaborate on having a drag brunch show on Sunday mornings. And so it literally just started like that. She was able to have the venue for us. I brought the talent and the audience, and we just had this residency for about 9 months.
And the name was called Brunch Becomes Her.
Yes.
Okay. All right. Well, people out there, here's something from their Instagram. This is Brunch Becomes Her Volume 4. I don't know if you could see that, but tell us about your brother. Who he is, what his stage name is, what his attitude is like. Hello. I think they disappeared. Yes, they did. All right. Well, here we have the House of Flamboyance. You can check them out on Instagram.
Sorry, Abelardo, we had a bit of
right.
disconnection.
Okay, no problem. Well, I'm just showing on screen on Sunday, May 19th. I imagine it was 2019.
Correct, yeah.
Brunch Becomes Her Volume 4, starring Athena Kills, Nubia Yvonne Boom, Sedusa Richman. That is your brother, right?
Yeah, Sedusa's actually right here in the back.
Our special guest.
Okay. You're gonna have to turn your camera some way so we could. Here, I'm gonna stop the share and go ahead. That's fine.
Oh, okay.
Sorry. There we go.
Sedusa Richman, present yourself.
Ladies and gentlemen and non-binary babes, our special guest and resident performer, Sedusa Richman.
Hello, everybody. I am Sedusa Richman, but you can call me tonight. How are you doing?
Doing well. Nice to meet you.
You as well. The pleasure's all mine.
So tell us, you're going to be performing tonight in Orange County. What can people expect at a House of Flamboyance, a stage show?
Well, you know, they can always expect to be entertained no matter what, whether it's going to be through dance, whether it's through fashion, or whether it's through even comedy. That's what I love so much about drag, is that a performance can be so many different things. And that's really what the house, like, that's another thing that's really important to us, is that not only are we showing off all these artists, but showing off the different kinds of art that are inside the subgenre.
All right. Well, here I'm going to share screen again with another little photo from their Instagram page. So this is one of your brunch sessions, right?
Yes, that was. Yes.
So tell
There
us,
we are.
and who is they? Just from left to right. The gentleman with the suit.
Yeah, so the gentleman in the front, that's Dominic, one of my best friends for for 10 years. You see Mel with the fan. Sedusa's right here in the back. Another performer is Coke. Another performer, or that's me, Vick Jagger. I was like, who is that? I almost didn't recognize myself. And then the girl behind me is my sister Faith, and she helped us with like helping us with just the little things that we needed help with during those times, which was like helping us
Decorate.
yes,
helping
doing a lot of the
with
decor.
rounding up the performers. You know, the thing is, no matter how big or small an event is, it takes a village. And
Yes,
everything we've done has been completely DIY, do it yourself, out of pocket. And we come from backgrounds where we have to work our day jobs in order to fund our passion projects. And basically, like, what I love about the weird like blessing from 2020 was it really took House of Flamboyance events, which we did live, and really gave us a platform online, which I think was a blessing in disguise, to be perfectly honest.
definitely, because that was the transition that we always kind of dreamed about, was to do film and comedy sketches and short films. And for whatever the pandemic happened, and drag was kind of it was
Took
all
a backseat.
it took a
Quite
back seat.
literally.
Yeah, it was all up in the air, with where drag was going to go during that time. But we started noticing that drag shows started becoming digital, and so we just kind of took it to a whole nother level and made a whole production out of it.
All right. Well, we're gonna catch a little clip here. Why don't you tell us a little bit about it, how you put this show together before we show the trailer?
Sure. Yeah. So this trailer that you're going to show is our Valentine's special, which was Love Hangover. So Halloween, we had House on Haunted Hill. Then we had our I'll Be Home for Christmas. And then we ended the season with Love Hangover for Valentine's Day. And basically what we did was Mel and I were the host, and we had, I think, 10 performers from Los Angeles just be a part of the show. And again, like you mentioned earlier, it's a variety show. So we had different types of talent. So we had live music or drag performances. And yeah, this is Love Hangover. It's very, very flamboyant and fun.
All right. Well, here goes. Let's get this up. Sharing sound, optimizing video clip, and click.
You ready? Okay, here we go. Playback. Action.
Come on, baby.
Oh, thank you. Pretty wild.
Very wild.
I've watched Love Hangover. Why don't you
Oh,
tell-
wow.
what was the concept behind Love Hangover? Okay, Valentine's, of course. People are supposedly showing their love and affection, but tell us the concept and how you picked the artist and what were their acts. Please share.
Well, Love Hangover is also a tribute and a ode from the song Love Hangover by Miss Diana Ross, the boss. And, with everything that had happened with COVID, I think the most necessary thing absolutely was love, was to find a way. And we wanted to give people so much love in this production that they were hung over from it,
Yes.
essentially. And a lot of the artists with not just Love Hangover, but even if you look at the previous productions, it's a very femme and very intersectional cast, with people who are Latinx, Afro-Latinos, Asian, Black, and we just, and very femme. And so we just continue to try to be as intersectional and to showcase, our talent, not just like we know, but like, not that I just know, but like Vicky and Sedusa, all of our communities combined, we just end up kind of finding talent that way. It just kind of happens very quickly and naturally in that sense.
Well, just in describing House of Flamboyance, okay, we have some terminology that some people out there might not understand. Say queer, for instance. Before it was kind of a term of derision, of insult. But what do you describe? What's your description of queer, and how is it expressed in House of Flamboyance?
Well, as time goes on, we all there's never no time to learn more. You know what I mean? And queer now, what it means, it's an umbrella term that means so many different things. A couple of years back when I was a kid, people would try and use that term against me. But as we grow up, we reclaim things and we make it beautiful. And so for those of you who don't know, queer is an umbrella term for anybody who's lesbian, gay, bi, transgender, and anything along that spectrum, you are queer. And then also kind of piggybacking back on what Mel was saying on the question that you're asking, something that I did notice from watching these two amazing women put together Love Hangover, it was so researched in not just queer culture, but in Latinx culture. There's so many references and so many different things and little things such as the set that they were at filming certain scenes for it, or even the jokes that they're writing. There's like little Easter eggs and stuff like that. And what I really want everybody watching to take from this is that even though we're all cute and cuddly on the outside, we are very smart. We're a very smart collective who knows what we're doing. And everything that we're doing has like a concept, a reason behind it.
Yes.
A concept, of course, talent, but also incredible production qualities to it, with the animation, with the sets, with the costumes, with the hair and the makeup. And you say this is all DIY. Do many of your family, do they come from the entertainment professions?
No.
You would actually be very surprised if we showed you a family photo right now.
Yeah.
We're not going to, but you would be very surprised.
No, we were just lucky. Again, it just came from our background in nightlife. I'm gonna bring this in because it's getting a little darker. It just came from our background in nightlife, really meeting people and people wanting to collaborate with us. And we were lucky enough to meet people that had the tools to create these kind of to record these kind of events, offer the cameras and the lighting and the space. So we're very thankful for that. And we see so much value in those kind of things because, again, like Sedusa mentioned, and how you asked, our family doesn't come from any kind of like entertainment background at all, quite the opposite. So like, we just kind of had to find people that believed in our vision and gave us the tools necessary to make this happen.
Well, that's incredible. I'm gonna you gotta check out their Instagram. It's House of Flamboyance at Instagram, and gonna share the screen once more. And who do we have here?
Oh, well, would you look at that? That pretty little lady is Miss Sedusa Richman. That was at our Summer Freak event, which was loads of fun. This was at the Civic Center in Los Angeles. And what I remember from this night is while it was an amazing, amazing display of performances backstage, we were all kind of sweating a little bit. But you know what? Looking back, like post-COVID, like all those little moments for me, let me get some light on me so y'all can see how pretty I look. Hold on. All right, there we go. So yeah, all those little moments for me, it's like those beautiful 5 minutes that y'all see on stage come with like a week, if that, of stress and like blood, sweat, and tears. But honestly, like that's what it is about being a performer, and that's what we want to do, is just create these fantasies, these moments for people to just forget all the bad stuff in their life, especially if they're coming from like a queer background, and just enjoy and be in the moment. And that's really what the House of Flamboyance is really all about.
Right. Another descriptive for House of Flamboyance is BIPOC, BIPOC. That's a term that's been kind of bubbling up in the surface, used by media, and I heard it on the radio this morning. Describe that to us, because some people might not know what that term means.
Yes, it's an acronym for Black, Indigenous, People of Color. So anybody who's underneath that kind when you're addressing people from that community, that's how you would refer it to. That's the PC way.
Okay, then finally, Femme, FEMME. What's the descriptive for that?
Femme is basically like if you identify as a female, or any like. Also, femme is another umbrella term. You don't have to be a cis female to identify as femme. There's many different people that identify as femme. So
Very similar, basically feminine, but like
yeah.
miniaturized, like as a word.
Yeah.
But like Vicky says, you don't have to. Anyone can be femme, and that's the beauty of like flamboyance. And we want people to unleash parts of themselves that society may deem as taboo. Yeah. And so often being femme, anything that's feminine, has been seen in such a negative context. And we don't see it that way.
No, not at all.
We let our femme flag fly around here.
And how have, when you're doing your live shows, how do audiences respond? I know that you probably have a following that knows the House of Flamboyance, your performers that collaborate with you, but how about people that maybe aren't familiar with the scene?
Well, it's great that you asked that, because at our brunch show we had families coming with their kids who identify as queer and just wanted to see like what our community is like, or we just, it just depends. Everybody just at the end of the day enjoyed it. Like mine and Sedusa's family came out to see us, and
I mean, I remember, didn't your family cry watching Sedusa?
yes, yeah, and it's because like Sedusa started drag in 2018, so still fairly fresh, as far as how many years we've been around. And so I guess for our family to see us in this leadership role and to be on stage, they were really taken aback by it. But that's of course our family. But I mean, we encourage everybody to come and see our shows, and everybody has a good time. We encourage everybody to come in whatever look they want,
And just because we say that it's a safe space for queer people, that doesn't mean that it's limited to just queer people.
Yeah.
So it's really important for us. What we want to do is not just make sure that the people who we can identify with are feeling safe, but we want to have the people who don't identify with us kind of understand and see that we're not like these crazy giant pink monsters. I mean, we are.
Kind of.
But we're like, but we're also.
I'm like, not a giant pink monster, not at all.
No, yeah, but just kind of show them that we're humans, but we're superhumans.
Yes, exactly.
All right. Well, one of the the foundations of House of Flamboyance is the music, and Vicky, you come
Absolutely.
from a music background as a DJ. So who picks your playlist? Who do you pick the songs and then you have the performers interpret them, or is that a collaborative exercise as well?
It's a little bit of both. We definitely have an aesthetic that we like to stick to, and we definitely pull a lot of inspiration from the 20th century, mid 20th century, so like 60s, 70s, 80s. We love disco, and we love like just anything that's high energy and fun. And something about disco and that era was that BIPOC people were celebrating themselves and being very flamboyant. So we take a lot of inspiration from that. So for Love Hangover, we did curate the music where we had a playlist, and we told our talent, like, this is the vibe that we're going for. You could pick a song from here, or if you don't, something in this world. And a lot of them took from that, or they found something in that world, because we also don't want to just take creative control and say, hey, you're going to do this song because we want you to. We want them to feel good about it as an artist. So everybody always has the option.
Oh, that's pretty cool. Well, one really notable facet of House of Flamboyance are the graphics that you use to for your flyers, for your outreach. Who does them for you, or who does them?
Well, this is one of our more like inspiration picks, and I believe that this artist, I think it's Peter Sato. I don't know if I'm saying that correct, but he's an artist from the 80s. Again, we just love like very vibrant and shocking images. But we have an artist that did a lot of our in real life events, and her name is Mean Machine. So she always did like very cool, colorful, again, just vibrant and incredible flyers for us. So
and just to note also, like, she does come from a queer Latinx background as well. Actually, I think all of the people that we've commissioned for work have been Latina women.
Yes.
And that's a thing that, Vicky has a background in styling. And so aesthetic is very important. But also giving opportunities within our own community is really important. So that's something that, like, we have Lola Rissa, and then
the Pulp Girls did our other one.
And then the Pulp Girls. We're very lucky to know a lot of talented people in our community that it just makes it easier to create these kind of productions and artwork.
Fantasies. Yeah.
All right. Mel, what's you're the so-called daddy of the group. So what's your role? Tell us about some of the adventures you've had being the daddy.
Well, I come from a background where I did a lot of managing for music. I had my own project, and doing everything yourself, that DIY lifestyle taught me to really like learn how to manage and organize. And I just brought in those kinds of skills with our production, with our events, whatever I could do to keep things organized. And also, I love writing. That's something that I'm really had with Love Hangover. I co-wrote the whole script with Vicky, and I co-produced it, and obviously like co-starred it. And you know,
Co-directed as well.
and I didn't know I could do it. And that's a part of why I really appreciate and I'm so grateful for the house, because I never thought I could be a leader. I never thought I could direct. I had been so used to being in front of the camera, like as like a model or actor, but I never thought I could handle that until Vicky basically encouraged me to do it.
I forced her to.
Yeah, but that's what I think is really important. And I really want to note this. We're very lucky to have had our friends and community support us with camera work, with graphics. And I just think that that is the most important thing, is we need to invest financially in communities of like young artists, young queer artists, Latinx, POC, Indigenous, because we didn't have any money to work off of. And that's what and Love Hangover is what we created with that. So you can only imagine the kind of artwork that can come out of our communities if
we had investors.
If we had people invest, and not just in us, but all over in California and the US, you know, there's so many young artists that need to be invested in. And like I said, this is what we did with no money. Imagine if we had an actual budget.
Yeah, exactly. Forget
about it. Watch out, Spielberg.
No, what's amazing is the sets, the music, the costumes, the makeup, but especially the people behind it who are performing and giving their all. I'm just going to share some Instagram screen shares here, and tell us about some of these performers. Who's this?
Oh, who's that?
That's me as my alter ego's alter ego. That's me as Melton Dom. My character is very like this during the show, but then all of a sudden when I perform, that's how I transform.
Is that like the inner Mel?
I don't know. You know, I just really thought it would be hilarious too, because if you see the show, Melton Dom is very like, hi, how are you doing today? And I just wanted to do something completely opposite. And I thought a dominatrix would be something so hilarious and so unexpected. And so I never thought I would do it. And I did it.
Well, good for you. And here we have another performer.
Oh, yes.
That's Doris Munoz. She is an amazing singer, and she actually is a part of Mija Management, and she's currently doing Casa Mija, which is, I believe, it's just like helping young Latinx people, especially I think like Latinx women,
get involved in the music scene. So that's her background, and so she started singing. During the pandemic as well, and she has an incredible singing voice, so we definitely had to book her for that.
All right, well, here something a little different.
Oh yes. Aww. So that's Orchid Satellite. Orchid is one of my really good friends, is an incredible stylist. I mean, she styles for films and music videos, and so this was one of her first drag performances. I think her second. The first one was on our Christmas show. But that's another thing that we like to do at Flamboyance, is that we see a lot of potential in these artists and know that they have what it takes to be an incredible drag performer, but they just never have had like the platform to do it. So when we see this, we definitely want to ask, because it's always great to see them just like let loose, and they let loose.
Oh yeah, Orchid didn't. She ate that cake.
Well, tell us about this loose letting here.
Oh yes.
Oh yes, that's Creepy Gals. She's an amazing artist. Actually, she paints, draws, designs, and we had her on it was a House on Haunted Hill, and she just did such a great job. And like we had to have her come back on again.
And this is another person who this was their second performance ever. So
just in general,
yeah.
All right. So what was she performing in this one?
And for that one, they performed Believe It or Not, Angel Baby by Rosie and the Originals, the song from the 50s. So I
Very
mean,
conceptual performance.
it was very conceptual, very good.
And a little scary, as you can see.
Yeah.
She's a little intimidating.
And you could experience this one on your Love Hangover performance. Is that correct?
That's correct.
All right. And where can people catch this?
You can watch the entire show on youtube.com/Vick Jagger. We have all 3 of our shows on there. I would definitely recommend watching Love Hangover. That's the one that we just feel is our best to date.
We literally poured our hearts into it. Like we're
still hungover right now.
Oh man, that's crazy. Well, there are a couple people who served, I guess, as the hosts of the show, and might be well known here. Who are these two?
That's another alias of ours. That's me and Mel in drag king look. So, we do it all. We're very femme presenting, but we also like to have fun. And this is the closing finale of the show.
That's our tribute to Night at the Roxbury. I don't know if we have any Gen Zers on here, but that was a film that came out with Will Ferrell before he did Anchorman.
Yeah.
And Chris Kattan, and like Sedusa mentioned, we have a lot of Easter eggs. We are so influenced by pop culture, and we see like these roles played by people that are nothing like us, 2 white men. And we decided, what will happen if they were portrayed by 2 Latinx women? And I think we may have done a better job. I don't know.
I think we definitely did.
All right. Well, we have a question here from Esperanza Sanchez. She's asking, can you please share what your next project is?
Ooh, good question, Esperanza. Well, we want to start working on short films and kind of, now that outside is going to be opening back up soon, we want to get back into live events, but we, again, like Mel mentioned, we love writing, we love directing, and we want to have scripted content coming out. So definitely look out for that in the future. Hopefully by the end of this year, short films,
sketches, some short films,
comedy sketches, web
music
series,
videos. The thing is, we also like to collaborate with other people, and so we have friends of ours who reached out to us to help them collaborate for their music videos or for their clothing lines. And you just got to go onto our Instagram,
check it out,
to stay tuned.
Yes.
Okay. And how about brunch? Do you have any brunches scheduled in the near future now that things are opening up?
I don't know. We don't at the moment, but brunch is definitely something. I respect brunch hosts so much, because to get into drag is one thing, but to get into drag at 5 a.m. to get to your gig at 10 is a whole nother thing.
Sedusa, how long does it take you to get into drag? Just to give them an idea, time-wise.
Let's say time-wise, let's say that I'm running on time. If I'm running on time, then it's going to take me 2 hours and a half to do my makeup. Then it's going to take me about another hour and a half to get in my outfit. If I'm wearing tights, lately I haven't been because I've been really slim. But if I'm not, then it's going to take a little bit longer.
The only slim person during the pandemic, right here.
No, it's true. It's true. It took a little longer for me to get my unemployment than everybody else. But it's going to take anywhere between 4 hours, and then you have to drive there, be on time before everybody gets there. That way they don't see your outfit and everything got ruined. It's a lot. It's a lot.
So it's about like 5 hours or so. 5 hours.
They call it drag for a reason.
It's a drag sometimes, but it's fun. It's fun.
It's a fun drag.
But drag brunches are definitely a whole nother subgenre within the genre. And I think we prefer nightlife a little bit more. Gives us more time.
Absolutely.
You don't have to wait, like you said, you don't have to wake up as early.
No, not at all.
And so tonight, is the public invited to tonight's performance, or is it a private affair?
So it's actually a sold out show. I will be DJing tonight, and I have the House of Flamboyance here to support. It's my first gig in over a year, And it's definitely one that's completely safe. Everybody here is wearing masks, getting checked at the door for the temperatures and all that stuff. But it is limited capacity, and yeah, that's where we're at right now. So.
All right. Well, that's fantastic. Okay. Well, here I'm gonna, if you don't mind, I'm gonna share a little bit more of the House of Flamboyance, your love hangover.
Okay.
Is that cool?
Yeah.
Of course.
All right. This is
You want to share more of our work? Go
yeah,
for
why not? All right, here goes. Let me get the volume up.
My.
else can I say? It's all to you. Know where I want. It's me and you. Can't go on. What is love? Baby, don't hurt me. Don't hurt me no more.
All right, that was just a small taste, because otherwise Facebook will block us, and we don't want that to happen, do we?
Also, we want anyone who's on here, go watch the show if you haven't already. It's an hour long and it's free.
Yes.
And you know,
Honestly, the hour flies by too. It's such a good cohesive show, and that's another thing. Like the way that it just flows. Talent. Like even though I'm part of the house, I am the biggest fan of the house.
Okay, well, I'm popping in the link on the chat and also on the Facebook page there, so people can, right after this session, don't go yet, please, check it out. Check out the Love Hangover by House of Flamboyance. We have another question here. Is there a favorite alter ego that you enjoy playing, Vicky?
Oh, yeah. So my alter ego in drag her name is Fantasy. And I mean, it doesn't get more, I'm already super like high femme, but fantasy is a whole nother thing. So I like being Fantasy. I think that's fun. That's probably my favorite other alter ego. But also I do like being in like boy drag. I always enjoy.
oh my God, you should see her as Prince, or Purple Reina.
Yes.
It's so funny. I remember one time Vicky dressed up as Prince for a drag show at the Red Line, and so many of our friends who are gay men were like, "Who's that hot guy?" Not knowing it was Vicky the whole time.
It's true.
Sorry. So I just had to say it.
Yeah, I think I do enjoy that actually, now that comes to my attention. I enjoy dressing up as a whole nother gender because it's fun, and gender is limitless, and that's what we love to talk about and explore here at Flamboyance. So yeah, definitely the boy drag is always fun.
All right, how about you, Mel?
Mel Man, I guess, is this character that I don't even know how Mel Man came to be. We were doing this little like it was a promo interview that actually Sedusa came up with, and it was kind of last minute. And as I was dressing up, it just started developing more, and I started talking like this, and then it just didn't stop for hours. And
or for like weeks. She still
yeah,
does it.
and Mel Man is a scummy guy with a heart of gold. It's so weird.
Yes.
It's just so fun to play. Like I said, like Flamboyance definitely gives opportunities to play characters that you never thought you could play, and sometimes you play them a little too good. So
yeah,
Mel Man is that for me.
Definitely.
Uh-oh. And Sedusa, when I read your name, Sedusa Richman, that's a pretty cool name. And somebody, Sedusa Richman. So has that happened, Sedusa?
Right now, I definitely cannot confirm nor deny how many rich men I've been with, but I will say that you are a smart man for understanding the pun. I've actually had friends that I started drag with, and they had no idea that my name was a pun until 8 months into our friendship. So thank you for catching that. Sometimes I feel like it's a little too smart for people.
Yeah.
Well, I'm sure our audience out there got it right away. Probably took them not as much time as it did me. But all right. Well, we're gonna let you go to your gig there. We look forward to seeing a live performance or another one of your projects as the House of Flamboyance. I know that we had scheduled your show at La Plaza de Cultura y Artes for 2020.
Yes, correct.
And we were so disappointed that, of course, along with everybody else that that we had booked, that Jimena Martin, our director of programming, had reached out to, and this was one that we were looking forward to for many reasons. But hopefully we're opening up to yesterday was the first La Plaza's first day back as a museum, allowing our members to come in first, and then next week, starting Thursday, April 15th, the general public. Please go to lapca.org to make your reservations. We're following all the health and safety standards, masks, social distancing, disinfectant, the whole thing. And then starting in June or July, we'll start our live programming again there on stage. So watch out. If not this year, maybe next.
We might be on that stage having a gay old time, literally.
And that'll be great. All right, Lisa Marie Ruiz, she thanks you so much for putting this on. This was so amazing and very entertaining.
Thank you.
We're here to entertain. Thank you so much, Abelardo, for having us. And
Thank you.
honestly, thank you everyone who's tuned in, and just continue to stay safe and inspired. Don't forget, like, life, if anything has been taught to us, is life is too short and precious to not go for your dreams and for what you believe in, and to become the person that you know you are.
Yes,
you know?
exactly.
So thank you again for having us.
All right, you're welcome. Thank you so much. And we'll let you go, and we'll see you soon, hopefully. All right.
See you soon.
Hasta la
Okay.
próxima.
Hasta la próxima.
Bye.
Everybody out there, a little sneak preview for next week. We have, as usual, every Monday on En Casa con la Plaza becomes En Casa con la Plaza Cocina with our host, Jimena Martin. We have Eliseo Lara, baker extraordinaire from Mexico City. He'll be showing us how to make Garibaldis. And if you're not familiar with the Garibaldi pan dulce, it's like the little upside down cupcakes with all the little sprinkles on top. I'm sure you've had them, and I'm sure you've enjoyed them. On Tuesday, April 13th, we have the Mexican American Educational Cultural Foundation presenting Bel Hernandez from Latin Heat Media and Katia Miramontes from the agency. They'll be sharing their life stories and what makes them Mexican American history makers. And finally, on Friday, next Friday, Dan Guerrero returns with his happy hour with his guests, Evelina Fernandez and Jose Luis Fernandez. Evelina, of course, a theater, an actress, a playwright, founding member of the Latino Theater Company. And then Jose Luis Valenzuela, who is a renowned director, professor at the UCLA School of Theater, Film and TV, and artistic director and co-founder of the Latino Theater Company. And I think you guys got to hook up with him as well, House of Flamboyance. So with that, please, if you came in late to the show, or if you want to see it again, we're recording it. We'll be posting it on our YouTube page at La Plaza LA. It'll also remain on our Facebook page at La Plaza LA, and our webpage, lapca.org. You could find all of our sessions, almost 140 plus sessions, which include Dan Guerrero, let's see, I don't know, Beto Arcos and his beautiful musical guests, and so many more that you'll enjoy. History, art, culture, and more. On our YouTube page at La Plaza LA. Thank you so much to our sponsors, PepsiCo and Kaiser Permanente. And then also, as I said, you could go to lapca.org and start making your reservations to join us at La Plaza de Cultura y Artes beginning next Thursday, April 15th, where we open to the general public. And we've missed you all, and we can't wait for you to come back and enjoy our exhibitions, including Carlos Almaraz, Evolution of Form, which nobody has seen until yesterday. And also we have Afro-Latinidad, Mi Casa, My City, the groundbreaking exhibition on the Afro-American community here in Los Angeles. So enough of the commercials. Thank you so much for joining us otra vez. Nos vemos muy pronto. Buenas noches.